Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well. I'm going to give you an update in this video, a short video, an update on the academy kids that are moving on and the money City are getting for them, which is, when you add it all up, is going to be, I think, astronomical this season. Now look, the City Academy is a gold mine for Manchester City, an absolute gold mine. Occasionally you'll come up with some nuggets. You'll get nuggets like Phil Foden, hopefully Cole Palmer, Louise. You'll get some nuggets that come through, make it into the first team, and hopefully can hold their own like Phil Foden can. And I think every season you'll get one or two kids that have got that potential to get through to that first team and make it at the top level. But sprinkled amongst those nuggets, you've got some gold dust. I think you'll have other players who might not be able to make it at City, might not be able to make it at the top level, but will have to leave City, go somewhere else, make it there. Some will be good enough, maybe, to make it at the top level. It's just there was no pathway to come through at City. And in these cases, City sell these players on for decent money and usually insert buyback and sell on clauses. We've seen in the past this has worked really well. I think over the last couple of seasons we made over £50 million in the last two summers. I think look at people like Louise, we made a lot of money on him. Sunal, we made a best part of €10 million on him. Even someone like Sancho, who we sold to Dortmund a few years ago, when he was sold on to United for over £70 million, I think we got best part of £10 million on that as well. So it is, I won't call it a gravy train, that's a little bit insulting, but it is a breeding ground of top talent. Is our academy. I mean, I think, did we win all the titles at the main age groups? I think so. For the academy kids, the EDS, under 18s, under 16s, I think we won at least 2 or 3 categories. But basically we're doing very, very well. So we've had deals done already this summer. We've had Shay Charles, midfielder, who's gone to Southampton for about £10.5 million. I mean, Southampton have taken a load of our kids over the last few seasons. I mean, Angus Gunn, Gavin Bazunu, Samuel Edozie. We had was it Juan Lariso? I can't remember. I probably got his name wrong, but we've had a lot of kids go to Southampton. Anyway, Shay Charles, £10.5 million. We had James Trafford go to Burnley for, I think, between 17, maybe going up to 19 million quid. That's best part of 30 million quid. It'll top it up to 30 when I tell you that Darren Fletcher's boys, yes, Darren Fletcher, ex-Man United, his kids have been at City, and twin lads, I think they're 16 years old, they're moving to Old Trafford for £1.25 million. That'll get us up to about 30 million for those transactions, those transfers. Then on top of that, we've got news that Carlos Borges might be going to, or looks like he is going to, West Ham for 14 million quid. You're keeping tally. I think that gets us to 44 million quid. We got news that Taylor Harwood Bellis might be going to West Ham as well for 15 million quid. That gets us up to, if I get my numbers right, about 59 million quid. Now there'll be other little ones that'll go out, some undisclosed, some low ones that go under the radar that you won't hear about. But we're talking 60 million quid there. That's a heck of a lot of money. And there's other players who, may be going out on loan or might actually be sold. There's a lot of activity at the moment as the club decide who is staying, who is going out on loan, and who is leaving. So futures of kids, I think when you get to between the ages of 18 and 21, Howard Bellis is 21, I think. When you get between those ages, decisions have to be made on the future of those kids. So you're looking at, let's say, £60 million there. And you know, this FFP, you've heard me talking about it before. I said it's not an issue for City anymore. I really don't believe it's going to be an issue for City, because as long as we've got this conveyor belt of talent coming through, as long as we're selling these kids on, as I said, these kids are going for you know, we've got making about 60 million profit on these kids. And also this season Mahrez has gone, Riyad Mahrez, and we're going to get a huge, well, not huge, but a decent profit in our books on the sale of Mahrez. I think, you know, he's going for 30 million quid. We'll make probably the best part of 25 million quid as a book profit. Add that all together, 185 million quid profit on the sale of these players, and I'm sure that will go over 100 million, especially when others go. And there's talk of Kyle Walker going for about 15 million quid. There's talk of Laporte maybe leaving. You know, these sales, the profit in our books will be well over 100 million pounds. FFP should be for Manchester City a thing of the past. Is if we can keep winning stuff, if we can keep going deep in all the competitions, especially the Premier League and the Champions League, if we keep winning huge amounts of prize money, keep getting fantastic TV deals, keep on with our sponsors, you know, we're getting more and more lucrative deals. Either the deals are going up and up because we keep winning stuff, or we're getting new sponsors because, hey, funny thing is, the big corporations want to be associated with success. I'll be doing a video with Colin Savage about sponsors and the amounts of money we got coming in, so keep an eye out for that. That'll probably come out tomorrow, I reckon. I'm filming today, Sunday. I think the video on sponsorship will come out on sometime on Monday, hopefully late Monday morning, lunchtime, something like that. But yeah, I mean, these kids, as I said, it is like a gold mine. Kids are keep coming through. We keep selling them. We'll keep on having kids that are knocking on the door. Like I said, we've got Rico Louise came through at 17. He was lucky, and I said this before on my video on talking about Taylor Howard Bellis. A lot of things have got to align. You've got to have an opportunity. You've got to have that skill. You've got to have that, you know, the mental qualities as well to be able to slot in and cope with playing with some of the best players in the world alongside them. And you got to have a lot of luck. You got to have luck that the opportunity presented itself at the right time and you took it. You got to take the opportunities. Well, Rico Louise, for one, he certainly did that. I just don't think Taylor Howard Bellis had maybe the same luck, the same opportunity. Maybe club didn't think he had the same level of skill or enough skill. But some kids will have that opportunity of coming through. Oh, there's another deal. I totally forgot about this. The Romeo Lavia deal. Forgot about that one because Lavia went to, I mentioned him before, he went to Southampton for about 10.5 million quid. We have a sell-on clause with him, and there's talk of him moving for about 40 to either 40 or 50 million quid to, I think West Ham have been looking, Liverpool have been looking, Chelsea have been looking. And let's say he goes for 40 million quid and we got a 20% sell-on clause, we'll get another 8 million quid on him. So that'll take that 60 million to the best part of 70 million. You know, these things keep dropping just like that. So it's fantastic. The opportunities that these kids are going to get playing somewhere else, I think that's important. I've said it many times. I believe the sale of these kids is better than consistently loaning them out, because they're always in that bit of limbo, I think. The sale at a good price means the buying club have invested in them, invested heavily in them. They really want them to succeed. You spent 15 million quid on Taylor Howard Bellis, or 14 million quid on Carlos Borges, or even 10 million quid on Shay Charles. You want these kids to succeed because you spent a lot of money. You're going to push and you're going to give these kids every single opportunity to be a success. You're not going to discard them early on if they have a bad start to their careers with their new club. You're going to push and see if you can help them develop, help them fulfill their potential. And if they can, if the kids can come through, you could have yourselves like Southampton look like, it's only one season since they've had Romeo Lavia, but they, as I said, paid about, I think, around 10 million quid for him. If they sell him for 40 million quid, even if they have to pay us another 8 million, they've made about over 20 million pounds profit, which, given their current situation of having been relegated to the Championship, I think they need all the money they can get. But other teams will have the same opportunity. You know, you buy somebody for about 10 or 12, 15 million quid. If they make it within a couple of years, look at someone like Douglas Louise. Now, I think Aston Villa paid about 15 million quid for him. And teams are looking at him again. I don't think he's going to go. I think, you know, there was talk a couple of years ago of him being worth 40 million quid. Whether that's slightly exaggerated valuation or not, you know, I'm not so sure. But now, actually, Douglas Louise, now that Unai Emery, okay, you've got a manager at Aston Villa, a proper manager, a guy who's actually good, not someone like Steven Gerrard, who is playing Douglas Louise too defensively in the defensive part of the pitch. You've got Unai Emery, as I said, a proper manager, playing him in a more advanced role. Okay, you've seen Douglas Louise start to flourish. So maybe Douglas Louise now is worth 40 or 50 million quid. Aston Villa got him for 15 million. I can't remember who's sniffing around. Was it Douglas Louise at the moment? But people want these midfielders. You know, you've seen people looking at Romeo Lavia, looking at Douglas Louise. They want these kind of midfielders. So clubs can make fantastic profit on their investments in these kids, or these kids can help bring them to the promised land. I mean, you look at someone like Taylor Howard-Bellis. He played at Burnley last season, helped them to win the Championship, and now they're back in the Premier League. So, as I said, in summary, the academy, these young kids, it's a wonderful opportunity for these kids to learn about football, get a good education as well. That's equally as important for the ones that don't make it. It gives them a chance. It might be a very small chance, but it gives them a chance to make it at Manchester City, to make it through to that first team, and be like one of their heroes has got to be Phil Foden. Be someone like Phil Foden or Cole Palmer, who had plenty of game time, or Rico Lewis coming through at 17. I mean, that's just wonderful. So it gives them that opportunity, but it also, if it doesn't work out at the parent club at Man City, it gives them the chance to go and play at a very high level. You know, someone like West Ham, that's high enough level in the Premier League, or Southampton, who obviously, sadly for them, have been relegated. But it still gives these kids a chance to make it in professional football, and it gives City an opportunity, because if you got one of these academy graduates coming through, it's basically costs you nothing. And if they don't come through and you sell them on, you make a bundle of money. As I said, this season I'm already up to, on my mental tally, over about 70 million quid profit on sale of just the kids, and that's just a remarkable number, and it's just going to help City going forwards on the financial front. Guys, if you are new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. If you could hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around, Blues.